What's good, everybody? AB Media 83 here, and today I'm asking the question: does the Pander African hate divestors? For those of you who don't know who I'm talking about when I say the Pander African, I am, of course, talking about Dr. Umar Johnson. And I'm asking the question: does Dr. Umar Johnson hate divestors? And I know what y'all thinking. Why am I asking this question? Well, let's listen to this.
I'm putting together a petition for the Supreme Court to overturn Loving versus Virginia 1967. I'm putting together a petition for the United States Supreme Court to overturn its 1967 Loving versus Virginia decision that outlawed all bans on interracial marriage. I want the Supreme Court to reconsider their decision in Loving versus Virginia. I want it overturned. I want it to be illegal again for Black men to marry snow bunny.
Hey, divestors, you do realize if he does that, it'll make it illegal for you to marry Zeddy, right? You do know it'll make it illegal for you to marry Zeddy too, right?
Yeah, he wants to he wants to overturn Loving versus Virginia. Now, I'll ask the question again. Does Dr. Umar Johnson hate divestors? Because overturning Loving versus Virginia would imply that divestors who want to get married to white men can no longer do so. If you actually go look at the case for Loving versus Virginia, you would know that Loving versus Virginia was not about a black man marrying a white woman. It was about a white man marrying a black woman. And Dr. Umar, in his infinite wisdom, wants to petition the Supreme Court to overturn that. All in the name of allegedly, keeping black men from dating snow bunnies. If you ask me, I think Dr. Umar has a snow bunny hidden somewhere that he's screwing that he don't want nobody to know about. But just in case you didn't hear it the first time, let me play this again.
I'm putting together a petition for the Supreme Court to overturn Loving versus Virginia 1967. I'm putting together a petition for the United States Supreme Court to overturn its 1967 Loving versus Virginia decision that outlawed all bans on interracial marriage. I want the Supreme Court to reconsider their decision in Loving versus Virginia. I want it overturned. I want it to be illegal again for Black men to marry snow bunny.
You heard him. He wants it to be illegal again for black men to marry snow bunnies. Only problem is, the majority of people who still support you are clearly black women. The majority of people who still give you money are clearly black women. And you just basically got on camera and said you want to get rid of the divestors option of going to marry Zaddy. Good job, Dr. Umar. Good job. Good luck with that, Dr. Umar. Oh, not to mention the fact that white men are probably not going to let him do this dumb shit either. But I asked the question: does Dr. Umar hate divestors? Me personally, I don't have a problem with divestors. Per se, I have a problem with the rhetoric, but if you want to go date a white man, you're not hurting my feelings. As I've stated in the past, I already got white in-laws on both sides of my family. So you're not hurting my feelings by going and looking at a white man. In fact, I'm like David Carroll. I'll help you pack your bags so you can go date that white man. But Dr. Umar Johnson's new bright idea is to overturn Loving versus Virginia because, according to him, black men dating snow bunnies is such a big problem. How about you focus on building that school, man? Whatever happened to that school you said you're supposed to build, that you wanted to build about, what, 10 years ago? Whatever happened to that? But you up here worrying about trying to dick police where a black man stick their member. You're more worried about that than building that school, huh? It's going to cost you money to get to the Supreme Court too. You're more money. You're worried more about wasting money to get the Supreme Court to overturn uh, Loving versus Virginia than to actually build that school to help black boys. You're more concerned about what the average black man is doing with his his white wife, than building that school that you said you was going to build. But you want us to take you seriously. You're more you're more busy trying to say that Suki, I don't know, that nasty hoe of all people is a black queen instead of building that school. You're more busy. Yeah, you would rather harass Vanessa Bryant for not supporting the black community than build that school. And by the way, I maintain my position. You was out of line for that, bro. You was out of line. You were totally, that was totally unprofessional and uncalled for. That woman lost her husband and her black daughter. But you up here running your mouth talking about how come she ain't done nothing for the community. She don't need to do anything for the community. She doesn't owe the community anything. How come you ain't built that damn school? That's the real question. That's the real question, Dr. Umar. How come you haven't built that damn school? But you up here running your mouth. But I'm not really surprised. Yes, if you ask me, the Pander African sounds desperate. He sounds desperate. But let's play this one more time, just in case the Negroes in the back didn't hear this.
I'm putting together a petition for the Supreme Court to overturn Loving versus Virginia 1967. I'm putting together a petition for the United States Supreme Court to overturn its 1967 Loving versus Virginia decision that outlawed all bans on interracial marriage. I want the Supreme Court to reconsider their decision in Loving versus Virginia. I want it overturned. I want it to be illegal again for black men to marry snow bunny.
Hey, Divestors, you do realize if he does that, it'll make it illegal for you to marry Zeddy, right? You do know it'll make it illegal for you to marry Zeddy too, right?
But yeah, that's what Dr. Umar Johnson's on right now. Salute, brother. He wants to overturn Loving versus Virginia so that we won't have access to snow bunnies. You can't make this shit up. Now, I think I've talked enough, done my spiel enough. If somebody wants to come up and talk to me about this topic, you can do so now. But yeah, his bright idea is to overturn Loving versus Virginia so brothers can't date who they want. But we're supposed to take you seriously. You can't make this stuff up, folks. You just can't make this stuff up. But this is Pander African. I call him the Pander African. Dr. Umar Johnson's bright idea. You know, call himself Dick Policing black men, while he has two baby mamas that he's not married to. Oops, did I say that out loud? Yeah, Dr. Umar go run around wanting Dick police black men when you already got two baby mamas that you ain't married to, but you want to run around it and Dick police black men. Really, bruh? Really? You up here disrespecting widows, but you want our respect? Really, bruh? Really? You want to try to blame black men for these soy boys running around when you need to be looking at their mamas who won't let black men around them long enough for us to do anything? But it's still what's that saying BGS said it's Jermaine. It's Jermaine's fault. It's always Jermaine's fault. I'm done. It's always all fault, but you don't want to tell black women the truth and look in the damn mirror. Hmm? That's what Kevin did. And you hated on him for that too. But yeah, this is what Dr. Umar Johnson doing, the Pander African. Family, I want to overturn Loving versus Virginia. Family, I want to overturn Loving versus Virginia. Family, I want to overturn Loving versus Virginia. For what? So that black men will stop dating snow bunnies. So that black men will stop dating snow bunnies. So that black men will stop dating snow bunnies. Snow bunnies. This is your pander African, folks. I call him that for a reason. And by the way, let me be clear. Not Pan African, Pander African. Because all Dr. Umar Johnson does is pander for pussy points. That's all he does. That's all he's good for, especially now. That's why he got cut up with that conscious stripper. But this is the pander African's new bright idea. Guess nobody want to come up. That's okay. Go for few more minutes. But his bright idea is to get a Supreme Court case where he can overturn Loving versus Virginia, so black men can have less choices. Can't make this shit up. And of course, my response to him doing this is go kick rocks. You don't speak for the black community and you don't speak for black men. Plain and simple. If you want to be a pander African, I know you're making money being a pander African, but that's on you, bruh. You don't speak for us. Hmm. We barely in 2024, and we already got some goofy shit going on, man. Can't make this stuff up. But his bright idea is to challenge Loving versus Virginia, so black men don't have options. And by the way, to the young brothers who might want to come past this video, um, all I have to say to you is SYSBM and or get your passports. Do what's best for you. If you find a black woman that's on your program, go be with her. But do what's best for you, brother. Don't listen to this jackass. Don't listen to the pander African. Y'all excuse me for a minute. But yeah, this is the pander Africans' bright idea. Go to the Supreme Court to give black men less choice. Oh, Dr. Umar Johnson. And as I stated earlier, I call him the pander African because let's face it, all he does is pander for single mother black single mother pussy points. And no, I'll take that back for pussy points in general because I don't believe for one second he don't have a snow bunny somewhere. He talk about it way too much. But yeah, that's the pander African, Dr. Umar Johnson. To answer your question, he's a pander African. All he does is pander for pussy points to make money. It is what it is. Yep, he's a to quote my man Valdez, the angry man. He's hope tapping for pussy. He is who he is. He's a part of the so-called black conscious community. Now, let me be clear because I'm sure BGS might watch this video later. When I say so-called black conscious community, I'm not talking about guys like Art Newstar and BGS. I'm talking about pander Africans like him and like what's that dude's name? Brother Polite, who just got convicted for essaying a young girl. They're pretty much just pander Africans. They're pandering for black pussy points. To make a long story short, but yeah, that's Dr. Umar's new bright idea. And if you want to see, yeah, his bright idea, he wants to make, as I say in my short, he wants to make being a divestor pretty much make being a divestor illegal. See, because if he overturns that, he's not just that doesn't really just affect black men. That affects black women more. At least the ones that want to be divestors. He wants to take away divestors' choice too, and force them to be miserable with us. Which I take the opposite approach. You want to go date a white man? Go right ahead. Not hurt my feelings. And if you're a female in my family, long as he treats you right, we don't have an issue. All boys school my ass. Yeah, he panders for that, but if you look pay attention, he gets most of his money from black females who clearly don't care about the boys. We got all these black females in power, and our most only 10% of our boys read at the proper grade level. We got a black Supreme Court justice brought to you by Sleepy Joe Biden. They can't even tell you what a biological female is. Really didn't want to get into politics here, but I may as well announce a few things. Breaking news: for those of you who haven't heard, Chris Christie has dropped out of the Republican race, and I really don't give a shit. But back to the Pander African. You know, the Pander African bright idea is to overturn Loving versus Virginia, so black men have less choice. That's Dr. Umar Johnson's new bright idea. But hey, let him try it. But don't get mad when no brothers show up for your events, Dr. Umar. I mean, seriously, you want to take away black men's choice, but you want us to take you seriously as a black man. Go fuck yourself. It's not going to happen. But anyway, since nobody wants to come up, that's all I have for today. Thank you for everybody coming through. If you like what you see here, hit the Cash App and support the show. But in the interim, thank y'all for coming through. This is AB Media 83, and I'm out. Peace.
Yo, this is AB Media 83. Want to support the channel? Hit the Cash App. Also, be sure to like, share, and subscribe to the video. Also, be sure to hit that bell notification so you can be notified the next time I upload a live stream or video. And always remember, keep it grinding, keep it pushing, keep it moving. This is AB Media 83, and I'm out. Peace.